I'm Ray Rickman, Executive Director of Stages of Freedom. It's been a very interesting year, turbulent in many ways, different in many ways. Some friends have left us, gone to heaven. I was in the grocery store the other day, East Side Market, and a woman was looking at some pistachios, and she's just staring at them. And after about a minute or so, I love pistachios. I go over, and they're on sale. They're $7 instead of $9 for a big bag. And I say to her, they're on sale. And she goes, they'd really have to be on sale for me to buy them. And I looked at her, and I realized that she didn't have the money. She just didn't have it. And I said to her, you know, you could buy them and forgo something else. She says, no, I can't forgo anything else. I get my nerve up, and I say, you have an income problem? And she says, yeah, I work at McDonald's, and I make about $19,000, and I have 2 kids, and yeah, I have an income problem. I say, how much do you make? She says, about $19,000 a year. And it all comes rushing back to me. You get $2,000 tax break for each child that you have, if you make enough money. When you make $19,000, you get about $1,100, $1,200 back. That's all, because this is a tax break. Now, under the Trump administration, when they did that big tax break for the super rich, they upped the cap. It used to be you had to, income was $140,000 or less, and you were entitled to the $2,000 per child. So you had 2 children, you get $4,000. But if you don't pay $4,000 worth of taxes, guess what? You don't get a $4,000 tax break. But now people making up to $400,000 can get the tax break, so they get it all. And the pool of money, the billions for those tax breaks, is mammoth. And the super rich are getting a larger sum. I'm sorry, they're getting $4,000, and before they were getting 0 because you had to be under $140,000. And I'm staring at this woman in this grocery store, not being able to buy some pistachios for $7 because she doesn't have any money. It brought back my childhood. My mother, who was fanciful, we'd go out to the Grosse Pointes, you know, the richest towns in Michigan. We'd go out there, and my mother would go to the back door of the meat market, and she'd knock, and they would give her chicken necks and chicken feet and livers and gizzards and awful stuff. And my mother, of course, she knew how to make chicken pad thai out of those chicken livers. And she thought it was the greatest thing in the world. I thought it was the worst thing in the world. Later, when I was a little older and I'd go to Jewish events and they'd have some of that stuff, it was a little better, but not much better. And all of a sudden in that grocery store, I was 7 years old again. And I wish that woman knew how to do the things my mother knew how to do to get the right food for her children. So I buy 2 bags of pistachios. I put them in a bag. I buy myself a bag of pistachios. I go up to the counter, and I tell the bagging boy, when the woman comes up with the blue jacket, some things in her little basket, will you give her this? And I paid for them separately. I said, please don't, fail to give them to her. They're a Christmas present for her. So that happened. I did that. I did it forward. That's what I'm hoping we will all try to do in the year ahead. That the Democrats, and they've been talking about it, will fix that $2,000 per child payment to include people who only make $19,000. seriously. And that each of us will take every chance we get to help those at the bottom of the economic rung. And particularly if you're an employer. I was talking to someone today, found out that their employee makes $12 an hour. The lousy dollar increase would do no harm to the owner, the man I was talking to. I'll be nice and not tell you his name. I think he makes $350,000 a year. And if he gave that employee $1 an hour, $40 a week, $150, $60 a month, they could buy some pistachios once in a while. May Hanukkah be perfect. May Christmas be perfect.